Thought Media Network proudly presents It's All Love, Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, 6 p.m. Eastern, with Laura Mock, Maria Hartman, Wendy Ann, and Lara Brzezinski. It's All Love, a space where we open into the heart, tap into the soul's deep wisdom, and enter into the energy of love, truth, presence, and joy. It's All Love, Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, 6 p.m. Eastern.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to It's All Love. We're a sacred community where we open our hearts, tap into the vibration of love, and connect heart to heart, soul to soul. I'm Maria. Tonight with me are Wendy. Am I pointing in the right direction? No, Wendy.
On my screen, I'm here.
You're here. Wendy and Lara. Laura is off tonight, but I'm sure she will be watching this back later and hopefully maybe chiming, if she's awake or feeling better, she might chime in with a few comments. We invite everybody in our audience as well to connect with us through the comment sections of whatever, whether you're watching through Facebook or YouTube or New Thought Media Network. We invite you to interact with us. And so what we do on this broadcast is typically we start each broadcast with a short meditation to help us center, tap into our hearts, and connect with our souls, our divine connections. We invite you to do the same. Tonight, Wendy is going to lead us in this meditation, and then we'll open up and begin a conversation, just maybe what's been going on with us, what has come up for us in the last week since we were here last. So, Wendy, I'd love for you to take us from here.
Great, thank you. So for me, this week, I just feel really called to invite everybody to locate presence within themselves. Where I am in North Carolina, it is 6 o'clock and it is getting close to the end of the day. So sometimes finding presence at the end of the day can be a challenge because you're winding down from being out of the house and all the doing. And so I'm just going to invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Allow your body to soften where it can. There's nothing to fix or change. Just arrive gently. And take a slow, easy breath in. And maybe let it out with a sigh. And if it is the end of the day when you're watching this, without pushing away the tiredness, or the stress, or the thoughts, just imagine instead that you're turning attention from those sensations towards the simple gift of being here, right now. Bring your awareness to the points of contact between your body and the surface that is supporting you. Notice how the ground or the chair or the floor holds you completely. You don't need to do anything for this support. It's already here. Inhale gently, feeling the cool air at the tip of your nose. Exhale softly, feeling the warmth as it leaves. And just notice the small anchors of presence, the rise and fall of your chest, the air against your skin, the sounds around you. And just think or say to yourself, I am here. This moment is enough. And let that moment of enough bring you spacious awareness within for a few more breaths. And when you're ready, let your eyes open softly, carrying that moment of presence with you for the rest of the day.
Oh, thank you, Wendy. What a beautiful evening meditation. There was a point during it when you just said to notice the seat beneath you or the floor, that it was, you don't need to do anything, that you are fully supported. And for some reason that just hit me right in my heart.
Yeah.
I know you were talking about the seat, but isn't that the truth about everything?
Right.
You don't need to do anything. You are
Yeah.
fully supported. You are
Yeah.
safe. Yeah, that was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we were chatting a little
And
bit before.
Yeah, before you get started, Maria. And the other powerful thing about that is that when you're so focused on, as you kept saying, to focus on the sensations, right? It quiets the mind, because you can't be thinking of that when you're thinking of
Right.
your feet on the floor, your seat, and your breath. And so not just, the breathing that calms you down, but I could just feel myself continuing to relax as my brain calmed. So that was beautiful guidance throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anytime. So,
Yeah, I know we have
yeah, go ahead,
another
Maria.
hour. I know that we have another hour of this, but that really, it does feel like a beautiful way to just kind of wind down your day, right?
Yeah.
Just to get back to center and know that you're supported, feel all the sensations of the present moment, and
Right.
know that you're good. It's all
Yeah.
good.
It's all
We go,
good. It's all love.
it's all love.
We
It's all
got
good.
you.
We go through our days worrying about so many different things, and then all of a sudden you just come back to self and
Yeah.
can refocus a little bit. I love that. Um, so that brings us into it's all love, the love, and how love actually creates love. Love helps us to create the life of our dreams. What Laura was talking about in her coaching. A lot of times one of your favorite questions, Laura, and you could say this better than me, so if you'd like to take over here, but she was telling us that one of her favorite questions is, what would you love to do? What would the life of your dreams look like? And I know that in the past for me, even that question tripped me up. I'm interested, Laura, to hear if that is something that is common, or or was that just me and my insecurities, maybe, that caused a lack
Well,
of
if
direction
we've
for me.
never been taught to really dream, and that it's okay to dream, right? We were talking earlier about our kids being in college and having the expectation to figure out, well, what do I want to do with my life? And at that time, we're not realizing, what if we change the question to, like, what would light you up? What would you love to do every day that would feel really great? And at the bottom of every job, we are all being of service in some way. Whether it's a cashier at a grocery store, is being of service, helping all of us that are buying our groceries, or the bus driver, or the chef in a restaurant, which I used to be, or a doctor, or a nurse, or somebody working in a bookstore. We're all being of service. And if we look, we come from that place of, so what would, like, fill your heart? to
Yeah.
do over and over, instead of the question of what do you want to do with your life, is like, oh, like could do this. And it's more job focused. It's more
Right.
of like
Right.
income, right? Go to college and get the good job so you have the money, right? But
Yeah.
how are you going to feel every moment of every day when you're at the job, instead of, oh, I get to,
Right.
as Wendy shared, she loves being around books. And she's like, I love being in a bookstore. That lights
Love
me
it.
up. And when I was cooking, I loved it. I loved the excitement. I loved the camaraderie, the teamwork. I loved the, putting something together and then putting this fabulous meal out. That totally lit me up. So while it was exhausting and stressful, I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how,
I
if we
think you're
could just
onto
change
something there. The question, at the
Yeah.
base of the question, we posed this question to our youth and to ourselves when we were younger, I'm sure, that has all this weight. Like, what do you want to do for the rest of your life?
Right.
And it has to make money, and you have to be able to support yourself, and you have to, like, there are all these have tos that we forget, so many, in fact, that we forget about the spark. Like,
Right.
what is it that sparks our joy? What is it that
Mm.
sparks the love in our heart and
Right.
helps us to expand and become better humans, and get up in the morning and want to get in our cars and drive to work? What
Right.
is that thing that sparks you
Yeah.
and that creates joy in your life?
That is
Yeah.
the difference. The question on the surface might be the same at first when you ask somebody, what do you want to do? But the you change the word do. That's
Yeah.
just tasks. Doing is tasks, versus, how do you want to feel? And 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 how do you
Yes.
want to feel with your life? And do you want to feel tired and stressed and focused on bills? um, I talked to my daughters, and I told them, I said, you can major or minor in anything. I said, but pick one of them, study one of the things that you love. Pick
Yeah.
something that you love, and then if you still feel like you're stressed about bills, then minor in something that could get the bills paid. But study something that you love, because you don't know. You might go in with this preconceived notion of, I want to be a teacher, let's just say. And I'm using that example because that was what I ended up doing. Was I went to school and I got my degree in education, thinking, this is what I want to do. Not asking myself the question, how I would spend my day. If you think about how do I start right from when you get up in the morning, and then what's the next thing? You're going to get your tea, and then where do you go? And I do love working with people. I do love working with children, and but the I didn't think about the capacity of the daily, what the task was going to be like. And a formal school setting is just not where I would be most lit up. I'm teaching art classes, and I love teaching art classes to kids and adults. I teach to the inner child as well, but there's different ways that you can acquire the feeling of something that you'd like to do without
Yeah.
putting that limit on, oh, well, that's the only way I can be a teacher, is if I'm going to go and be in a school.
Right.
Bless all the teachers who are back to school now, of course.
Yeah.
But there's, within each job category, there could be 100 different ways that you can, like Laura said at the beginning, you can serve. And Maria was talking about who you're serving. And that's those connections are where the real magic is.
Yeah.
Well,
that kind of,
I've got to say, Wendy just explained it so well. Is, have you thought about what your day is going to look like, right? And that's, it is important to a student going to college saying, okay, what do I want to learn and study so I can go do that, for a while, maybe not the rest of my life. But that also matters to whatever age, whatever you're doing, is how do you want to feel all day long? And what is it that you're doing? Right? Because at any point, I've had multiple careers now myself, thought that I was just going to do one, that was going to be it. But it's that, like, what do I want my day to look like? And how do I want to feel doing it? Because that's what our lives are made up of, the moments that make up the day, right? The years are made up of months, which are made up of weeks, which are made up of days. And our day is just moment by moment. And I think that's where a lot of people don't think about, wait a second, I get to create this. I get to make this up. How do I want to feel today when I wake up? Do I want to go, oh, I have another day, I'm awake, I'm breathing, or, oh crap, it's Monday, I got to go to work, right? And then it cycles from there. And that's what we were talking about earlier, Maria. A lot of people just don't know that, well, how do I create the life of my dreams? I don't even know where to start. Even from what we are saying here today, a lot of people don't have the guidance of, yeah, you know what? You get to choose. So passing it back over to you, Maria.
Yeah. Well, nice segue there. That is what we were talking about beforehand. I recently have been just meditating well, I always meditate in the morning, but recently I've asked, what is important to people? What do people want to know? What kind of information can we share? And the one thing that I heard this week was people want to know how to create that life of their dreams. They want to know how to be creators, co-creators with the universe. And so I was like, okay, great. How do you do that? Always asking.
What a great idea. Tell me more.
What a great idea. Yeah. Could you embellish? But it is, sometimes I hear things and then I'm just like, great, that was great information. What do I do with that? But so I asked how do you do that? And step one, what I was told for step one was knowing and believing that you are worthy of the life that you desire. Not remembering your inherent worth is the number one block to creation. And we have talked about this over and over and over again in so many different ways, how important in every aspect of our lives, every aspect, it seems, how important it is to remember our worth and to truly believe it. I mean, if we take any example of something that you're trying to create in your life, something you're trying to attract to your life, something that you want, if you don't believe that you deserve it, you will continue to attract things to show you that you aren't worthy of what you are desiring.
Right. And I think that's so beautiful and simple, and yet mind-blowingly expansive. And I get to hang out with you all and have these chats all the time, but every time it just hits. So instead of starting with what's the life of my dreams, instead of starting with, a lot of people will kind of skip over that and go straight to manifesting. Oh, okay, well, let me figure out what that is. Let me see what it is that I want, and let me raise my vibration so that I can get it. But before you do any of that is to go to the very beginning of your own worthiness.
Yeah.
And feel that. And we talked about different ways. I think it was last week or the week before, even different ways to just simple things that you can do. Even the meditation this morning, just to feel yourself as yourself in this moment. And if that's the first step to feeling worthy, is just to be okay with sitting in your own skin for 5 minutes and feeling the air coming in and out. If that's where you start, then that's where you start. But it's a great place to start if you're not sure where.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Another great place, I don't know if the two of you are familiar with Louise Hay's work.
Yeah.
She taught mirror work. And so for anyone that isn't familiar, it's starting with being comfortable looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, I see you. I see you. And she said to just really look into the soul of the human that's looking back at you, and then feel, and I coach my clients to say, I see you, I celebrate you. I celebrate you're here, you know, whatever it is that you're doing today, that you did today, that you got up today. Like, I just celebrate you being alive. I celebrate you. And finally, I love you. And I know people that have not been able to say that at first. It's like, well, I can't look at myself in the mirror. I can't say I love you. And it breaks my heart, right, when I hear that. But that is the first place to start, is to be comfortable in your own skin. And if you're not, then start practicing, just as you said, Wendy, just being in your own skin. And then being able to look at yourself in the eyes and say, I see you. I celebrate you. I love you.
Yeah. I love that, Laura. What a powerful practice. I did, in the start of this journey, Louise Hay was one of the first, I guess, self-help books that You Can Heal Your Life was one of those books that I read that just changed my life, and was that first stepping stone towards healing my rheumatoid arthritis, honestly. But in my 20s, when I first started that journey, the idea of looking at myself in the mirror and saying, I love you, or I see you, did make me so uncomfortable. And oddly enough, here I am, 50-ish. And I can look in the mirror now, though, and truly say that I do not have my youth. I do not have my youthful complexion and beauty, and I have lots of grays, but I can look at myself and say, I love you. And I mean it.
Right.
And it's such a shift from where I was 30 years ago. Such a shift. And if we could teach those people, kids, youth, young adults, that in their 20s, what a gift that would be.
Yes.
I mean, it would be mind-blowing to see the lives that they could create for themselves.
Even more powerful than going to college. And getting an
education. Make that the first class.
Make that the first class.
Self-college, back to school.
Right. I mean, there are actually, I would say 50-50 of the people who went to school, got a degree, that are actually using that degree that I know of, or ever have used that degree.
Right.
So there's so much more to learn and to experience and to do when you're young. But I think this is the big one. Learning how to truly see yourself and remember your worth and love yourself just the way you are. Yeah. And not just at face value. I mean, like, really internally love what you see looking back at you or reflecting back at you in that mirror. Yeah. Well, that was step one. Do you want to hear step two?
I would love to hear step two.
Step two. I'm just going to read it because I don't remember it. Become an energetic match for the things you are creating. Like attracts like. When you are in vibrational alignment with the thing that you are creating, you draw it to you with ease. You cannot live in you cannot live in the vibration of lack and draw riches to you. Those are extreme opposites in frequency. So if you're sitting there and saying, well, I don't have this, I need money for this. Oh, I don't have that, I need this. Then you are attracting more of that coming to you. When you say, I wish my bank account had, $100,000 in it, how that it's such a discrepancy in vibration, if all you're focusing on is your lack, how do you attract those riches? How do you attract? Because a lot of people, let's get serious, when you talk about the Secret, remember that video, the movie, The Secret, and the books? A lot of it focused on money. And I think a lot of people try to create money when, fine, I think some people can do that with ease. I mean, we see people in our society who grew up with money, they attract money, if a business fails, they attract more money, but underlying that, their underlying belief is that they're worthy of attracting money.
Right.
Always. They don't fear it. So how do you shift? And maybe it's something smaller than money, because money has a lot of weight to it. Maybe you start with something smaller than money, or maybe you take, like Wendy had this awesome example. Wendy recently.
You're talking about my grocery store trip.
Your grocery store trip. Yes.
Yeah.
But you were opening up to that, right? You were
Yes.
in vibrational alignment with that. And what showed up? It showed up in a way that you could accept it.
Right.
And receive it very easily.
Yes.
Can you tell?
At a time
Laura?
when the bills started piling up out of nowhere, and car repairs and dog surgery, and those are not small bills, and so you feel the sting of that. And if I was going to compare dollar values on worth, obviously that's a big amount, and if I'm focusing on that, then that's all I'm seeing, that's all I'm experiencing, that's my experience of life. And just shifting out of that, and not putting a dollar value on what's worthy, but changing the mindset. And I was on the phone. I was on the phone with Laura, with the U and Maria, and I was at the grocery store, and everything on my list was on sale, but not just on sale. It was like buy one, get two free, and then buy another one, get another one free. And oh my goodness, this is on my list and this is on sale. And it was just, I just kept finding more discoveries and I just kept saying, wow, look at this. Oh my gosh, this is on sale. So finding ways to see what's already around you, and accepting that as part of what worthiness is, what value is, what abundance is, what money is. Changing your mindset into that. Even I just looked out the door this afternoon. There's a dragonfly sitting on the sidewalk step right in front of my front door. Even that's abundance, because it could have landed anywhere, but it landed right there where I could see it. And like, wow, that's amazing that I happened to be looking out at the exact same moment that dragonfly was there. Like, how amazing is that?
And what you just said actually is a wonderful tool. If we're worrying about money, if we're worrying about, the actual dollars in our bank accounts or bills that are adding up.
It's a real concern.
It is a real concern for a lot of many people.
Yeah.
But one way to start to shift that energy is to notice abundance in different ways. Right. Maybe money is too difficult, right?
Yeah, because that's where the lack is.
Right. It's hard. It's hard to come out of that thinking, but you can notice abundance in different ways all around you. Mm-hmm. And like you said, it could be in the butterflies or the dragonflies that land on your doorstep, or the, I asked for the other day, I asked for just a sign, and I heard quarters everywhere, exclamation mark, quarters everywhere. And I swear to you, no joke, I go upstairs, I start cleaning my daughter's room because she's gone to college now. I start cleaning out a few things, and I see 2 quarters right there in her thing, and in her little jewelry like tray. And I go somewhere. I go to dust. I was dusting later on that day. There's another quarter. Like, okay, it's a quarter. But I asked for something and I was open to it. It was something small that didn't have a lot of weight attached to it. And it showed up 3 times in that one day.
Right.
I am recognizing the time. It is time for us to take. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Lara.
I was just going to say before I'll say this, then we can do a commercial and come back to it. But it's why people say using gratitude, because it's not just noticing. It's what you said earlier, Wendy. It's about how you feel, and our vibration is how we feel. And when we feel the constriction of scarcity and the bills, we're not attracting the money. But when we can look around and see what we already have, like someone pointed out to me, you're wealthy. Just holding that phone. Yes, you paid for it in the past, right? But you're paying monthly to have it. And the computer and the desk, you just look around and those have value. Like all the things in your house, if you can say, wow, I have this. I am wealthy. And then that's where saying, yeah, it took money in the past to get this, but this is still, it equals money. It's part of the flow. And then feeling the gratitude for the things that you have. I'm grateful I have a bed to sleep in. I'm grateful I have a house to keep out the elements. I'm grateful there's food in my fridge. That's when you build up that feeling and raising your vibration. Because I know that's part of the, well, how do I, when I got the bills, they're not going to go away. It's like, yes, and you can still say, I have these bills and I still have all of this. It's the both and. So,
yeah.
All right. We'll take a quick break, and Maria, you can talk to that when we come back in just a minute.
Well, hello there. This is Dr. Sydney Steen. I am the senior minister and spiritual leader of the North Hollywood Church of Religious Science. We are a oneness center for spiritual living. And I just want to invite you to something that I think is really, really special. In October, from the 6th to the 10th, at Unity Village in Lee Summit, Missouri, the affiliated New Thought Network will be hosting the most wonderful retreat. This will serve your soul. It will lift your heart. And oh my goodness, I want to call it an advance. So come hear wonderful speakers like Martha Creek, Sonny Cantrell, and the music will be off the hook with Ricky Byers. There will be so much there to support your soul. I hope that you will join us. You can go to antn.org. That's antn.org. You can get all the information. You can sign up. You can use a credit card, and it is safe and secure, and I hope to see you there. Have a blessed day.
Back.
Welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for sticking with us through the commercial and joining us tonight. Again, our broadcast is It's All Love with Maria, Wendy, and Laura. Tonight, we were just talking about creating the lives of our dreams and doing that through noticing the abundance in our life, through gratitude, through the feelings that we have in every moment of every day. And we talked about step one was having that self-worth, knowing your inner worth, and recognizing that you are worthy just because you are here on this earth. You are worthy. And number two was the vibrational aspect of it, attracting to you, like attracts like, how you have to be able to envision your life through that space of love so that you can create the things that are going to bring you more love or more abundance. You have to notice the abundance in your life so that you can attract to you more abundance. When people talk about gratitude all the time, gratitude being that first step in creating the life that you want and creating the things that you want. Gratitude raises your vibration. Gratitude attracts more things to be grateful for. So we were just talking about that. And Laura, I believe you were about to say something else before we went on break. Am I wrong?
No, I was saying we'll pass it back to you, and you just did a great recap of what I said.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you. All right. Well, then we can go straight into step 3. Step 3 was being open to receiving in ways that you did not plan, create, or imagine. Human thought is limited. This is from my meditation this morning, actually. Human thought is limited. The divine is infinite. When you try to control the how, when, what, your energy constricts. And what I saw at that time was like a funnel. So, when I'm sitting here putting all these parameters about what I want to create, exactly what I want to create, I'm that lower part of the funnel. I'm the constriction. So here's this vast, infinite universe that is capable of giving us everything, bringing everything to us. And we narrow it down in our exactness of what we want. We narrow it down. And then all that we get is that trickle. Why do we do that? Why do we do that to ourselves? Why not just say, this is the feeling that I want? This is the feeling that I want to experience in my life. And then just let it go, and expect that to happen, because you know that the abundance is there in whatever form, like we were talking about money earlier, but whatever form, know that it's all out there. Why constrict it with all our it has to show up on this date. It has to show up, in this week. It has to look like this. It has to come to me through this channel. Well, that's our way. I guess control technically is ego trying to help us feel safe, which is its job. I understand. But what if we're constricting all the possibilities? What if we're narrowing the possibilities of how these things could show up for us just by trying to control?
I feel like we could end right there, but we get to talk about this even more.
Well, we do also want to invite people to drop a comment if you have any thoughts about this, if you have something that you're working on in your life, on creating or co-creating in your life. We'd love to hear it. We'd love to hear how you're going about it, how things are going, things that have worked for you, amazing stories. We love all of that, because that just helps to raise that vibration and to help people understand that it's all possible. Everything is possible.
Right. Yeah. And what I like about your 3 steps. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Laura.
There's a delay.
I was going to say we got a delay.
And if you're watching at a later time, feel free to send us an email at connect@its-all-love.com. Okay, go ahead, Wendy.
Well, I was just going to piggyback on Maria's. What I love about those 3 steps is that they're circular. So, and what you were talking about, the constriction, and what constricts your ability to access everything, and it would be the worthiness. If the more you feel like you can't have those things for whatever reason, the less can come through. And that constriction, the unworthiness, it's not just from what you think about yourself, and as far as like, it's not just walking in front of the mirror and I don't look good in that outfit today. It's everything that you've picked up, everything you've learned, everything that you still carry, the habits that you've formed. We were talking about kind of anxiety, disassociation, I think last week a little bit as well. And just, again, it's how you feel about where you are and what's happened. It doesn't mean we excuse everything that's ever happened, but we can feel what's happened and then still have room to be worthy Anything that's happened to us does not, and I will say this louder in the back, anything that has happened to you does not change what you are worthy of receiving. It may have changed how you think your worth, what your worthiness is, but it has not. It has not changed what you are worthy of receiving. Nothing has changed that. And you can go back through Laura's suggestion with the mirror exercise and start small to feel your own worthiness, and try and stay out of the stories of everything in your life that you think is a tally sheet of why you're not worthy. Just scrap that, throw it away, because it's not true. It's not true that you're not worthy of it.
Yeah. Well, and we talk about that, truth is part of it, love, truth, presence, and joy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big truth that people struggle with, because everybody has a story, everybody has events in their lives that have affected them in one way or another. And usually, you're right, it usually does somehow kind of chip away at our self-worth, for whatever reasons. It could be a huge story, or it could be something small, but it all affects you. I think Laura says it all the time. Everybody has trauma. Everybody has trauma. And it almost, how we are, it's still personal. So even my smaller traumas have hurt me deeply. So you can't take that away, and oh, I really need to work on that. Can't take that away. And none of those have truly changed your worth. That has been constant the whole entire time. The only thing that changed during all of that was your view of yourself, really. But your worth is the constant, because that's truly who you are.
I recently heard a quote that a person can have been victimized, but they don't have to remain a victim.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where sometimes people's trauma become their story, because they don't know how to separate. I was victimized, and therefore this is who I am. And it's like, no, that happened, which is what you're saying, Maria. That happened, and we don't ever condone that, but you don't have to be a victim to it. You can rise above. You are still you through everything that goes on. Viktor Frankl in Man's Search for Meaning said the last human, I think it's element that we have the capability of choosing is our own attitude, our mental viewpoint of what's going on. Like as part of how he survived was, in spite of all of the outside that was coming in, the conditions, getting beaten, starving, what the guards were saying and doing to him, he still knew he was valuable. He had worth. And his attitude was, I'm going to do my best to survive this. And, that wasn't the only thing, but a lot of people succumb to the environment in that, and just they gave up. And there's so much more. I'm not going to go into that. But the point is that we are in control. We are in control of our thoughts, how we believe, what we believe about ourselves, what we say to ourselves, and that shift of that happened to me. And I'm not going to allow it to define me. I'm not going to allow it to claim my worth, my value. And I just love that expression of, wow, because we all have had, as you said, Maria, as Laura says, we've all had trauma. We've all had something happen to us at some point in our lives that felt wrong. We felt wronged. It was out of our control. right? And do we choose to give our power away to that? Or do we choose to say, that happened to me, but it doesn't define me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And here we are back to our self-worth. It is a
Yes.
cyclical thing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
We end up talking about it every single time, but every single topic has been different. And yet it all comes back to that central thing. Just that remembering our worth over and over and over again. Whether it's we're trying to create, whether it's we're trying to understand anxiety, or I don't even remember what we talked about last week, but I mean, I feel like every week our topic has changed, but all of it has that seed in our self-worth, which is interesting to me.
Yeah.
I find that fascinating. Yeah. So those were the 3 steps. I haven't gotten a 4th yet.
Mm.
Is there
Tune in.
something? I know. Tune in next time.
And I think what wraps around all of those is love, right?
Yeah.
We love ourselves. We are loving on ourselves when we claim our worth. We are filling ourselves with love when we feel worthy of receiving, and when we raise our vibration to receive and shift our focus from what we don't have to what we have and open to, right? It's because it's a feeling. It's all a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Feeling worthy is it's a feeling. It's feeling love. And yes, I have these bills, and again, they don't define me. I have these bills, and trusting that some way, somehow, that they will get paid. I will be resourceful. My husband will be resourceful. My partner will be resourceful. The kids, or just the universe, will somehow, some way show up, and it will, right? When we are open and we are filling ourselves with that feeling, because gratitude to me is love. So when I'm feeling gratitude, I'm feeling love. I'm feeling appreciation. I'm full, and I'm open, and I'm receptive. So in all 3 steps, it's all about love. It's all love in all of them.
Right. Yeah. And like you said, that feeling, it is a vibration. It is a vibration, and it is a higher vibration. So if you're constantly pulling yourself back into that noticing of your abundance, being grateful for all the things around you, things, people, places, animals, if you're constantly in that state of gratitude or in that state of love, there would be no way to stop the things coming for you.
Right.
If you're open to it, it's when we constrict, when we worry, when we self-doubt, when we put up all these criteria, that we constrict the energy. So maybe step 4 is just start noticing, start showing gratitude, start that gratitude journal again, which I haven't done in years. I used to do one. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's starting your day or ending your day every night with the things that you're grateful for. And just opening up that vibration again, and getting back into that vibration of noticing the abundance around you and allowing it to continue to show up in amazing and beautiful ways.
Love that.
What I just heard in what you just said was, when we are present, when we take the time to drop into presence of ourselves, noticing ourselves, feeling love and appreciation for ourselves, the things we have, the people, all of it, and then trusting. It's trusting in the universe. It's trusting in ourselves, right? That's where this all comes together. And when we're in that space of being fully present in this now moment, every moment, trusting that I'm worthy, I'm enough, and there is a powerful force in the universe that is co-creating with me, and feeling the love, then what bubbles up is my favorite word, is the joy. But that's where all of these qualities that we each embody, how it comes together, like how they each show up, being present, feeling the love and the appreciation, trusting in God, and then being in joy in every moment for all that you are, we each are, and all that we have and all that we get to experience. Yes, that's what life's about. And that is how you create the life of your dreams.
Right.
There we go.
And what if we did what if we did the if it's challenging people, I had somebody ask me when I was talking about, we're doing a podcast and it's all love, and what do you, they want to know more, and then, well, what's, okay, I what is love even supposed to feel like? How do I know? And joy, you talk about joy and love, like, how do I know, especially if I'm used to feeling stress or afraid? And so start simple again. Even start this episode over again, do the meditation again, and be present. Love does not have to feel like a thunderbolt of excitement. And people sometimes feel like, oh, I have to have this rush. It has to be like thrilling. And sure, there can be moments of that. There can be moments of joy. There can be moments of bliss. But what if love also felt like just that moment of being within, holding within yourself? What if that's also love? What if the feeling of peace is love? What if contentment is love? What if noticing the way the air comes in and leaves my body is also love? It's not always the thunderclap that we expect it to be. Yes, I was really excited when I saw the dragonfly. That's also love. But maybe that was the joy of being in presence. I think when I saw that dragonfly, I was present with it. And what came right after was that joy. It really lifted me up. And so just for people watching, watch the episode again. Try the meditations. We meditate at the start of every single episode, and use those to tune into yourself and to guide you towards your own worth, towards your own love. Because they're all the meditations are about going within. Because that's where it is. It's not out there. We'll see it out there. We'll connect with something out there, but then bringing it in. That's where it comes inside.
I do think that what you said is extremely important. That I think, maybe Hollywood or whatever, it has led us to believe that love will feel like this amazing, like you said, fireworks or thunderclap or whatever, this huge thing. But I think, I feel like sometimes we in our expectations of that, of having it show up that way, we miss all those quiet moments, like the dragonfly, or sitting in your garden and watching the hummingbirds come to the feeders, or all of those are expressions of joy and love. All of them. For me, actually, love is peaceful.
Right.
It isn't this huge, overwhelming, blissful event. It's those moments of peace that I find in my day. Those are how I feel most often. Yeah. And they can come up in all different forms and for all different reasons. But yeah. So thank you, Wendy, once again. Drawing us back to that. That's a huge thing, though. And you know what? Sometimes we have this idea that this life of our dreams has to be this big, beautiful life. What if it's just a life, a peaceful, small life where I'm just living in joy, surrounded by the people that I love, doing the things that I love? What if it has nothing to do with all this big, these big creations that we think we need? Another thing to ponder, I guess.
I'll sign myself up for that life. Absolutely. I would take that life any day of the week.
Yeah. Agreed.
Well,
agreed.
I would love to hear and read comments from people. If you're not live with us, then send us a little email, a little note, and send us some of those simple, beautiful noticing moments that do allow you to feel that peace, that love, that joy. I would love to see a whole list of what is special for people that brings them back to themselves, to their own center. I think Laura's put the ways to get in touch with us down below. So please reach out, let us know.
Yeah. Well, and I think
connect.
that's, sorry.
I was just going to read it. Connect at itsalllove.com. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we would love to hear those like Wendy said, those little noticings. We'd also love to hear things that you've attracted to yourself in this life, and amazing stories about how things have shown up when you weren't expecting them, or how you weren't expecting something to show up and it did. Just there are so many beautiful stories about people attracting things, or events or people or experiences to themselves when they have been open and showing gratitude and knowing their worth and believing and trusting that everything will be okay, and that all your dreams can come true. So we'd love to hear that as well. And we just are so grateful that you joined us tonight. We are grateful that you join us each week when we show up. We hope that you continue to do so. Spread the word. Let others know. One of our main reasons for doing this live was so that we could have some interaction, and that we could create this community of like-minded people, and people needing a little more love in their lives, and searching for a little more peace and connection. And so we invite you to join us each week, Wednesdays, 4 p.m. Mountain Time. Is that correct, Laura? 4 p.m. Mountain Time, 6 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. So does anybody have any closing thought? Oh, right. Sorry. Info at Vistara. You can reach. So yeah, the other Laura, Wendy, and I are all part of the Vistara School of Wisdom. We each have our own individual practices, which you can find on there. But in general, the Vistara School of Wisdom is just a community of that. We offer a lot of things for free. There's a lot of virtual content. There are in-person classes. So we have that. And Laura, Lara, Laura Brzezinski, you can reach her at info@radiantjoycoaching.com. She does some brilliant coaching work, which she gave us a little taste of today with some suggestions, some questions, some practices. And I know that the people that you work with must feel that joy coming through you every single time they meet with you. And so we are so very grateful for you and for this connection that we've made. Thankful. So very thankful for that. So that's it for tonight, I believe. Oh, and sorry, Laura.
Yep, and I'll just wrap it up. Thank you for joining us on New Thought Media Network. Our website, ntmedia.org. You can go visit and see what other broadcasts we have there. It's a global broadcast network of positive music, media, entertainment, and so much more to serve and support you on your own personal journey of awakening. And if any of our programs, broadcasts serve and support you, and you want to express your gratitude with a financial contribution, we do have a donate button, ntmedia.org/donate. It is a 501c3, so all of your gifts are tax deductible. And with that, I think that's a wrap. Any last words? I'll pass it back to you guys. Any last words, Wendy?
No last words, just peaceful night, peaceful week, and see you next week.
Yeah. Perfectly said. Let's go create the life of our dreams. We'll meet back here next week.
Yes.
Tell everybody how we're doing.
That's right.
Sounds good. Bye, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Please help us say thank you to our organizational sponsors, including the Hefferland Foundation, Affiliated New Thought Network, International New Thought Alliance, Science of Mind Archives and Library Foundation, Center for Spiritual Living Denver, Center for Spiritual Living Midtown, New Thought Philadelphia, Planned Happiness Institute, Summit Center for Spiritual Living, One Heart Retreats, Center for Spiritual Living on the Lake, Unity Kitchener, Unity Spiritual Center Ottawa, Om Center for Spiritual Living, Satya Center, Begin Within Ministries, Center for Spiritual Living North Jersey, Unity of Savannah, and the Center for Spiritual Living Seattle, as well as all of our individual donors. Thank you for being part of the New Thought Media Network. Please like, share, and subscribe. New Thought Media Network, positively inspiring.